Hey, what up, my peeps? You got a Sarge coming at you. This is going to be a little back brief on my Shreveport trip report. So stay tuned. Let's go ahead and get started. And hey, notice the swag gear, man. If you don't have one of these, get yourself one. That's the road to win. Practice like you play, play like you practice. Good stuff, man. All right, let's get to it. Little plug for my man Ed there. All right, so and also while I'm at it, let me go ahead and say Merry Christmas to all. This is the eve before Christmas Eve, and just want to give you guys a back brief. Last Friday, went down to Shreveport uh, to get my game on. So here we go. Let's do it. Day one, got down there about 4 p.m. in the afternoon. Got got there. The room was calm. Uh, by 5 o'clock, made my way down to the craps pit. The wife stayed up in the room. She was watching something on TV, so that worked out perfect for me. Before I actually got on the floor, I went straight to the kiosk. I had $200 in free play, so got my coupons, four $50 coupons, punched them up, uh, then walked over to the table, and lo and behold, the crapless crap table was open. It was $10, and my position SR2 was open. I was like, well, this is perfect. So I walk up to the table, 14 footer, bought in for 300. There was about six other players on the table. Uh, so the dice had just started going around on the other side of Stickman. So at SL1. So the table was kind of choppy. No long rolls. Everybody, I 6-8 everybody till the dice came back around to me, which happened fairly quickly actually. And so $10 table, 6-8 everybody. I was down almost $100 by the time the dice came back to me. So I get the dice. Dice came to me, and what I do right at the gate, I PSO'd. It's like son of a. I wasn't comfortable yet with the dice as far as getting the feel. So I mean, you know how that goes. So PSO the first hand right out the gate, and like I said, I had bought it for 300, and I had went. I think I started off at 66 inside, trying to ease my way into the game, but that wasn't, I should have went 44 inside, but oh well, me being me, doing dumb shit. Anyhow, by the time the dice made its way around the table and back to me, quickly had to rebuy, rebought for another 200 because I was down to like $100 again. So bought back in for 200. Dice came to me. Had about a 5-roll hand, okay, but the problem was the chopper wasn't laying down proper, and when the chopper isn't laying down proper, you gotta walk from the table. What was happening was the dice was. Don't get me wrong, mechanics was spot on. The dice was flying through the air great, but once they hit the table, sometime the dice would dig in, and one would, it looked like an air and toss, as we was call it. One would stop and the other one would keep flying, or sometime both of them, I would try to correct for that, and then both of them would crash into the back wall and go splaying open. That's not what I wanted to see. So I immediately stopped, walked away from the table. So right out the bat, we're down like $500. That quick. So after that, I played the second hand. Let's see, I walked after the second hand, then went to get some dinner because by that time it was already about 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. By the time we got finished eating, came back, both tables were packed. They had the crapless crap table open, which I was playing on, and the regular table, and both of them was now packed. So me and the wife By this time, she was already down. We decided to walk next door to Sam's Town. Walked over there to Sam's Town. Not too much action, so I was able to get on the table over there. I think they had two tables open over there too, a regular table and a crapless crap. Got in the regular table, bought in for 300. Had a couple of decent roll, a seven, about a 7 and a 9 roll hand, and the dice laid down okay, but the table itself was choppy, and my rolls seemed to be like one of the best rolls because everybody was like telling me, "Oh, great roll, shooter." I'm like, "Okay, really?" So yeah, so bottom line, we didn't stay over there long. Probably stayed there maybe about an hour ish. Then we immediately went back over to Bali's. And did I mention I was staying at Bali's? Yeah, staying next door at Bali's. So went back over there. By this time, they had opened up a third table. So this was another crapless crap table that was now open. And the stick right two position was taken on the table already. So I noticed the end was open. So I decided, you know what? Just for shits and grins, let me get on the table. I'll buy for $100, and see if I can get my end shot going. So bought in for 100. Really, just wanted to just toss on the table to see what the tabletop was like. You know, since I couldn't get to the SR2, SR3 position, and wouldn't you know it, I commenced to go on hell of a roll, okay? Like I said, I bought it for 100 and got, let's see, oh yeah, I remembered real quickly, I got my free bets in my pocket, so I started putting them on Big 6, Big 8. Now, one thing I didn't know was that Big 6, Big 8 is basically always on. I don't know if I could have called them off, but Big 6, I threw a come out 7 and she reached down and snatched it up. I was like, oh shit, I guess that was a working bet. You know, I meant to ask him, but I'm going to assume that Big 6, Big 8 is always working. So be careful of that, because I lost $50 anyhow. Put another one, well, I wait till I set the point, then put it on the 6, commenced the rolling, and I was using a 3V, rolling from the end on a 14-foot table. So I was kind of, you know, I got this thing I do that I just kind of flick my wrists out there and let the dice drop and then trickle up to the back wall, using kind of chopper-ish, you know, as far as the rolling up to the back wall as opposed to landing them directly at the back wall. And it worked out well. It worked out well, okay? It's not a shot that I practice. I don't ever practice that par type shot. You guys know me, I'm straight up about the chopper. So, but anyhow, like I said, the set was a 2-3-6-3. 3V began rolling, and it was a crapless crap. Set 12 as the point, boom, buckshot, hit the point. Set 3 as the new point, boom, buckshot, hit the, well, a couple rolls later, hit the 3. Then set the point of 4, came back, boom, hit the 4, and was just rolling numbers, man, rolling. When all was said and done, I hit the tall, and I had the dealers up on that. I hit the tall, and the roll ended up being a 20 plus roll. By the 20 to 22 roll hand, I lost count, but bought in for 100, called up for 700. So that worked out perfect. That was great. Okay, that was great. After that, after I called it up, decided to sit down, get off my feet for a bit. Sat down over the bubble crap machine, went over there. I was like, okay, I know this game's rigged, it's bullshit, but let me sit here and try my little strategy, if you can call it that, and put $100 in there and commence to play. Now, my little bubble my little bubble crap strategy is to go 160 across, put 100, well, actually put $200 in, go 160 across, and during the point cycle, try to get one hit, just one, not two, not three, just one hit. And whenever the machine sets the point, I do a one count, and then I put all the other little rules in there. If an 11 or 3 rolls, I wait a one count again before I, place my bet. If a 2 or 12 rolls, I wait 2 counts. And if the points roll in between there while I'm waiting, then we reset everything and start all over again with the count. And then on top of that, I pick a specific number between 2 and 4 as to when I'm gonna take my hit. So it's a little bit of a strategy, but more like you're playing 3 card Monte. So and I found out before I would take the hit, normally on the after I do a one count, normally in the second, which would be by the third roll, the second roll after the point is set. But then it's almost like the machine started picking up on that. So I started going to the third and fourth roll, and what I found out is going to the fourth roll, it would take me a while because a bunch of rubbish numbers will come up, and like the 3, all that stuff, and screw up my count, and then the point will get hit in there. So I was like, okay. Anyhow, bottom line, I think my little strategy that I play seems to work. That $100, that $200 when I got up was at 514. Went cashed it in, so that worked out nice. So call it a day. That was all day one. Then day two, I was gonna meet up with a couple of buddies. My good friend, well, 2 of my buddies. Mark, the maintenance man, he goes by the maintenance man, and if you don't know him, he's got a YouTube channel. You guys need to check out his YouTube channel. He goes by the maintenance man. Great guy, and I'm gonna get to him in a minute. And I also met up with another buddy down there, fellow by the name of Al Smith. I met him through Mark, and I don't know Mark's last name, but Mark was the guy that put on the whole shebang last year of rolling on the red down there at Bali's. And I think my buddy Mark right now is recovering from hip surgery. So hey Mark, hope all is going well. Had a great time shooting with Al. Al, good stuff, man. Because me and Al had gotten that table. Matter of fact, let me get to that right now. So met up with Al that afternoon, the second day, which was Saturday about 2 o'clock. We got on the that same crapless crap table that I was on the day before. That I had a night where I hit the ATS on, and Al was shooting from, Al was shooting from SR2, and SR3 was already taken. So of course I just went over I had no problem with going back to the end and seeing if I could get my end shot going again. And lo and behold, like I did, the dice came down to Al. Al had a couple of decent rolls, some very nice roll. Al is a very, very good, accomplished shooter. And I was glad shooting, I got the opportunity to shoot with him again, shot with him and Mark before. So this was the second time we're shooting with him. He had a couple of nice high single-digit rolls. I think he might have even had a double-digit roll a time or two. So that was good. Made a few bucks there. And then the dice came to me, and I think all my rolls on that table that day was double-digit rolls. Some low teens, probably a few 12, 13, maybe, probably 15 was maybe the highest roll, but some good rolls. Eventually, choppy table, I would do good. then Al would do good. There was a couple of other players on the table, but we just couldn't get any serious traction going. So I think Al eventually called it a day, and you know, we said our farewells, and I stayed on the table for a bit longer, shot some more, and then I eventually colored up with $400. Like I said, I had bought him for 300, colored up for 4 that time. So that was okay. That was cool. About the time Al left and I colored up, I noticed that the regular craps table had my position open, SR2. So I quickly went over there and got on that table and bought him for 500, and the dice went around. The tables were pretty packed. I was surprised that nobody was in that position. Everybody was on the end, and then the stick left 2 and 3 position. So got my position, 6-8. Everyone, as the dice came around, the dice finally got to me. Put down a nice 18 roller with that chopper. Yes, the minute I threw the first toss and I see them dice trickled up to the back wall and lay down like 2 flat tires, I was like, okay, it's on. So, and I went in a tyrant, hitting 6-8, 6-8, 6-8, constantly, repeaters, back to back to back, and pressed them up quickly, and did good on that roll. Matter of fact, I think I needed a 4 for the small. Eventually hit the 4, and then needed a 10 for the tall. I set to a 2V set, and I said no. I was about to set. I said no, I'm not going to change the set because this 3V was working for me. Single pitch 3V. What was it? I took the 2-3-6-3 and turned the top die 1 click away from me. So, and it was working brilliant. So notice that I needed the 10, and then all of a sudden I heard Alfredo in my head saying, hey, take the short money. I was like, you know what? Let me lay the 10. So I laid the 10 for 600 because I was only up for 555. But laid the 10 for 600. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna get paid regardless of what, but that's good. So then on the next roll, I hit the point of 6, and then that was immediately followed by a come out 7. Bam, reset the whole ATS. 600 lay, paid 300. Kept on rolling for another 5 rolls. Then after that, I was like, okay, I'm out. I call it up. Everybody's like, yeah, way to go, shoot a good roll. So that worked out perfect. Okay. Up until then, everything was going spot on. Everything was going fine. Then, actually, I didn't call it up. I actually decided, let me just stick around and see if I can get another roll in, because that 18 roll hand was like perfect out the gate. And then, so the dice came around to me. I set the point of 8, went 160 across. Just about that time, the waitress came by. Sir, your drink? I was like, okay. They had just pushed the dice back out to me. They pulled them back. I tipped the waitress, turned around, make sure my hand was dry, took the dice up, and promptly 7'd out. Hello. Yeah. Superstition? Okay, guys, yeah. Bullshit. I'm not superstitious, but I knew better. I knew I should have turned my bets up, but I was like, okay, yeah, that shit isn't gonna happen. Yeah, right. The shit happened. Okay? So, yeah. Note to self, waitress come back, turn your bets off. Okay? At least if you're the shooter. I should have did that shit anyhow. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Next shooter, okay, the dice went to the next guy. He had a great roll going, man. I had my bets pressed up. I think he was like in the middle of probably in the high teens, probably a 16, 17-year-old hand going, following up on, doing great, and then all of a sudden, he somebody starts arguing with one of the dealers about the payout. Blah blah blah. I had a hard 8 up there, and you didn't pay me on the hard 8, and I said press it, and then they had to stop. They had to go to the eye in the sky, and I asked, could you guys go back and check that? Cause this guy was hell bent that he had threw a quarter out there in the hard 8. Anyhow, once again, I knew after all this racket, I should have turned my bets off. I didn't, and guess what? Next roll after they cleared everything up, bam, $7. And I probably had my bet was pressed up pretty damn good. Probably left close to 500 plus on the table, and that was starting out from 66 inside, just pressing on this guy and expanding out, growing with him, and because I was ready to start collecting black, oh Jesus. So yeah, lesson learned. Again, superstition. We all know when little dumb shit like that happens that slows the game down. Turn your bets off. Once again, I didn't, and I paid the price. Dumb shit. I knew better. Angle my camera down just a little. Okay, yeah. Get that shirt in there. Okay, so yep. That happened. Okay, yeah. After that whole shebang there, and he 7'd out. I think. Yeah, I think I walked away from the table. Let's see. Oh no, actually, by that time, my buddy, the other guy, like I said, Al had already left, but the other guy was just showing up then. That was the maintenance man. That's his handle he goes by, the maintenance man. And he had just showed up, and so we got on the crapless scrap table, and he's a stick left 2 shooter, and I was at stick right 2, and the table was packed. I had a couple of decent roll, but man, let me tell you about the maintenance man. Every time Mark, the maintenance man, held them dice, it was a double-digit roll, okay? And these was some beautiful, smooth roll. He was laying them down proper. It's like, yeah. He's like, Sarge, you making money over there? I was like, hell yeah. So, yeah, he had to go. He shot very well. But after 3 hands, each hand he shot, I think I PSO'd a couple, and just about every hand he shot, I think the dice went around 3 times, was all double-digit rolls, but his last hand, he got in a nice, he got in the high teens, probably more like a 20-ish roll, and he hit the bonus. I think he hit it tall, and it was like, yeah, and he was because if you watch his channel, guys, I'm gonna give it another plug. Make sure you subscribe to the Maintenance Man, okay? Just go on YouTube, put in the Maintenance Man, and he'll pop up. But anyhow, on his channel, he's where he's hit the bonus several times consistently. Damn near every time he makes a video, he hits the bonus. And when he was up there, he's like, man, I would really love to hit the bonus while I'm here just to show you what I've been working on. And begging and shit, bam, he hit the bonus. Even if he didn't hit the bonus, guys, I'm going to tell you, he shot great. Not well, he shot great. Okay? So, hey, buddy, it was great shooting with you, and I look forward to shooting with you again, man. At the time as soon as he hit the bonus, I was like, okay, you know what? Because, of course, all of us was high-fiving and all this stuff. I leaned over to the dealer. I said, hey, turn me off. Okay, turn me off. And like clockwork, I think he said the same thing down there too. And on the next roll, bam, wouldn't you know it? Yep, of course, the 7 came. So It's like, okay. And he came down. He's like, hey, I'm out of here, man. I was like, hey, great roll, dapped up and everything. And man, that was a hell of a roll. Probably the best roll of the day. And shit, because I had turned my bets off, got everything back, had my bets off pressed up too. So I had bought in for, what is it? Bought in for 300 and was colored up to the tune of about, I think about seven, yeah, colored up 700s, out for 700, in for 3, out for 7. So that worked out great. And like I said, can't wait to get back down there to Shreveport to shoot with you again. The maintenance man, okay, guys, look him up on YouTube. Great fella, okay. And then so after that, I took and went back. Let's see. Yeah, after that, I took and after Mark left, after I colored up, meandered around the casino for a bit. Then slowly, think I played a little bubble crap, lost a little there, got back on the crapless crap table, back to my position. Now, every time I got the dice, okay, my first roll would go out smooth. The second roll would, every time, I had 3 PSO back to back. You know why? The dice would land as they, with the chopper, the characteristic of the chopper is that it, after it dissipates the energy, it trickles up to the back wall. It skips, hop, trickle, roll, however you want to do it. But it has already dissipated so much energy. Anything that gets in its way stops it. And as my dice was slowly making its way up to the back wall to lay down, there's chips on the pass line. Boop, stop it dead in its track. 7. Now, doesn't mean that it couldn't have been a 7 if it had rolled up to the back wall, but I'm saying just the outside interference, the outside influence of the chips acting upon the dice as they was rolling up to the back wall, in my mind, caused a 7. And this happened 3 times back to back, with me being loaded up all the way across on a crapless crap table, okay? Yeah, loaded up to the tune of, I think I had, at one point, I was out there for, was it 260 across or whatever. I was like, okay, hell no. That's it, done. I colored up and walked 3 PSO back to back. This was after the maintenance man had already left, and I got my ass kicked back at the bubble crap machine. So again, the bankroll started, going from this slowly shrinking down. I was like, okay, yeah, time to cut it off. So after that, 3rd PSO, I shut it down and stopped, walked away, and again, I'm gonna say it now, just like I said then. Note to self: if I can't get a clean landing zone, okay, when I'm shooting, okay, a clear area, I'm not gonna shoot, okay. I seen this happen, okay. Now, if I was shooting maybe from the end, a 3-finger grip might have been a different story, because I could lob the dice over the top. But with the chopper, the dice needs a clear area so that it can trickle its way up to the back wall and lay down proper. And every time the dice started to roll up to the back wall, they would kiss right off the the landmine that's sitting there. So yeah, I'm not gonna do that anymore. Okay. And like I said, because the dice has already landed initially and dissipated a lot of energy, okay, when they're making their way up to the back wall, by time, if done proper with the chopper, by time they get to the back wall, they'll be out of energy and they just stop and lay there. And those of you that watched Cashier Cage, and a little bit of myself see this happens on a regular basis. The energy literally is dissipated. That's why the dice stop at the back wall, and any little thing that gets in their way, it's gonna stop them. And chips in the pass line is a killer. Okay, chips is a killer in any case, for the most part. But with the chopper, it's a little bit more detrimental, it seems. So, anyhow, in my mind. So, anyhow, and normally this wouldn't be an issue because I would normally be playing my serious play during the coffee run at 4 a.m. in the morning. However, since this was during the holiday season, guess what? At 4 a.m. and at 5 a.m., the damn casino was still packed. All the tables was still packed. I was like, damn, I guess nobody ain't gonna sleep tonight. So that's why I ended up playing, because my ass was tired from the drive up there. So I just went ahead and played a big mistake, But anyhow, yeah, normally when you do a coffee run at, 4 or 5 in the morning, nobody's there. During the holidays, it's a little bit different, and there was quite a bit of folks down there. Like I said, the tables were still packed. So, but all in all, bottom line is it was a losing session. Okay, it was a losing trip. Actually, I think the only one that probably made some money. I lost a little. I think the wife, I know she called me up, which normally doesn't happen. She called me up and said, text me and said, babe, I found a machine up here, I'm killing it. Well, of course, what I said, go on, make Papa some money. So she came down about an hour later, found me sitting there, bubble craps. I said, so where my cut at? She like, okay, yeah. She made a stat. She didn't make anything significant, but I know she did okay, which is good. Okay, when she ain't come down hitting me up, trying to look in the chip rail or whatever, see what I got in the bubble crap machine. Oh, she did good. So that was a plus. Yeah. So ended the session down 1,200. Okay, it was a losing trip. Ended 1,200 down for the trip. So that was actually about a third of the bankroll. So yeah, about a third of the bankroll. So, but overall, I didn't come back flat busted. It wasn't boom or bust. So, but that's okay. You can rest assured that I'll be ready next time when I head down there to Shreveport. And I will implement all those different little quirks that you just heard me talk about, those different superstitions. Hey, the waitress come by, yeah, of course I'm gonna take my drink, but guess what? Turn me off, okay? If the ATS is hit, well, I did that one this time, turn me off, If there's an argument on the table, turn me off, okay? What was there's the third one. It was, oh yeah, and landmines on the table. If landmines on the table, hell no, I'm not playing, okay? Or at least if that's the case, I'm not throwing the chopper, and I always throw the chopper, unless I have to shoot out of position by necessity and I just want to play. Like I did on that 14-footer, yeah, that's a different story. But I'm not gonna, if my position SR2 is open and I can't, there's chips in the landing zone, landmines, guys, I'm just not gonna play, Or if people aren't kind enough, some people move the chips out of the way, but look, after those three PSO back to back, I don't know. I'm coming to the conclusion, I don't want a damn thing in the landing zone when I'm shooting. Okay, I want a crystal clear, clean landing zone. All right. With that being said, hey guys, that's been my Shreveport Trip Report. Like I said, got to shoot with two fine gentlemen down there, Mr. Al Smith. That's Mark's friend who did the rolling on the red. And the maintenance man. Check out his channel, okay? Mark the maintenance man. Look forward to shooting with you. And the other Mark says he's trying to put together. Hopefully, be able to put together another rolling on the red sometime next year. So hopefully there'll be more to come on that. But before that, he has to recover from his hip surgery. So hey, Mark, take care. Hope you get well quick soon, buddy. And guys, I'm gonna stop running my mouth and say Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. Yo, this has been the Sarge. Stay safe, my peeps. Sarge out.